Former President Trump recently went on the Nelk Boys Full Send podcast. If you don't know the Nelk Boys, they have a huge YouTube audience and a massive podcast. It was a cool look for Trump reaching out, doing something that's more trendy and young. Most of the time, he's usually on like Newsmax or Fox News. He doesn't really do a lot of podcasts like that. So it was cool to see him there. However, it got banned.
Well, it's the Nelk Boys that I was asked to do by a tremendous guy named Dana White, Dana White of UFC, and he said, would you do an interview with them? And they're hot as a pistol, and they have, like, I guess the top show or something. And so I did it, and we had a lot of fun. It was a half hour or so, and it became very much a sensation because they had 6 million hits in a very short period of time. It was the number one they've ever done. And then I told them, I said, don't worry, it'll be taken down because I'm doing it. And I just heard a little while ago they got taken down. This is not a free press. Big tech is a disaster. And our country is a much different place. What they're doing is really terrible. 4 young guys, great people, great, and hot show. And this was the best show they've done, I guess, in terms of views by many times. And they actually took it down. And really what it is, Sean, is they've taken away the voice of the people. And I don't think the people will stand for it any longer.
Kyle from Nelk said YouTube has deleted our Trump episode that had over 5 million views in 24 hours. This video has been removed for violating YouTube's community guidelines. Our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, we think it violates our misinformation policy. We've removed the following content from YouTube: Donald Trump on World War III, talking to Putin and Joe Rogan, content that advances false claims that widespread fraud, errors, or glitches change the outcome of the 2020 US election is not allowed on YouTube. What's wild is Trump actually predicted that episode would be taken down. What's really crazy about this is the people claiming to fight China and Russia are turning us into China and Russia. Banning the former president's podcast off of YouTube because he questioned the election. Isn't that what Democrats ran around the media doing in 2017 when Trump won? Isn't that what Gore did in his election versus Bush? In America, the First Amendment doesn't say freedom of speech, except for if you question something that they don't want you to question, like big pharma, elections, your new status as a serf, foreign policy. They're using this whole misinformation scam to censor their political opponents, censor critics of big pharma, which is the #1 lobbyist in Washington, and in my perspective, one of the most corrupt industries in America, over 1 million dead with opioids. But don't question big pharma. Trump has a bunch of interviews on YouTube from 2021 on Fox and Newsmax, etc. And in my perspective, he makes false claims about the vaccine. He claims he saved the world from some sort of Spanish flu epidemic, 50, 175 million lives. I mean, he starts escalating it in every interview. I don't believe those numbers at all. But as long as you exaggerate in favor of the world agenda, as long as you exaggerate in favor of big pharma, you're allowed to say anything. The CDC director's allowed to lie. Rachel Maddow's allowed to lie. The CEO of Pfizer's allowed to push misinformation or bad data. It's all allowed. You're just not allowed to go against them. That's what they're doing to Trump. That's why his interviews where he's not threatening their worldview at all are allowed to stay up. And we criticize Putin all the time for censoring his political opponents. How are we any better? I'm not saying we're as bad as Russia. I'm not saying we're as bad as China, because I know they go to further extent, which I don't agree with, but we're getting pretty close. Are we not? Ukraine on Fire was taken off of YouTube recently as well by Oliver Stone. Luckily, Rumble came in and uploaded it. Now I'm going to watch it. I wasn't before, but now I have to. That's been up for years. It reeks of corruption. It reeks of sketchiness and dishonesty. When you take it off of YouTube, when all of this Ukraine corruption starts coming out because you don't want people to see it, that doesn't make people trust you. But sadly in America, I don't think they're trying to earn people's trust through humility, respect, self-awareness, being likable. That's not what they're doing with the Biden administration. They're trying to take a strong arm like Xi or Putin while talking about fighting them. They're becoming them. They don't want to earn your trust. They don't want to earn your respect. They want to demonize you. They want to belittle you. They want to bully you. They want to treat you like animals, prisoners, slaves, and serfs, and then play the victim. It's just disgusting. I'm going to make a whole new video on this, but in order to get on a cruise now, I called Royal Caribbean and they told me if I wasn't vaccinated, they wouldn't even let me step foot on a cruise boat. I've been on cruises because of the free buffet. There's some people that are morbidly obese. I'm talking about like over 500 pounds. They can't even walk. They're rolling on some sort of scooter because they're too fat to walk. That's just reality. But they're healthy, right? They're allowed on. If they get their Pfizer injections, they're okay. But me, I am now relegated to slavery status, serfdom status. I mean, I'm literally being excluded from vacation with their entire company because I won't inject synthetic mRNA by Pfizer or Moderna into my arm 2 times. But that's the country we live in. Trump banned banned from the Nelk Boys podcast. It's still on Spotify. I, of course, went to go listen to it because YouTube took it off, and I'll watch that documentary on Rumble. I got to check out the stuff they're trying to censor because it's not always the craziest and dumbest stuff. A lot of times it's the best stuff that they're censoring. In free market competition, the cream rises to the top, but that's what they're trying to eliminate. They're trying to go with some sort of communist, Orwellian, big tech, overlord, corporate merger. We will tell you what's the truth or not. If you disagree with our agenda, you are misinformation. You must be banned. Jen Psaki can say that other people are doing false flags, but if you say that they're doing false flags or someone's doing false flags, you need to be banned. This is disgusting. The media is supposed to be allowed to speculate and speak the truth and ask questions, but when you can't do that, the most corrupt people in the world, whether they're in our country, Russia, Ukraine, wherever, they can get away with anything because nobody's allowed to disagree with them, right? Isn't that the whole reason we disagreed with the Chinese communist system or the authoritarian Putin system? Isn't that what America used to stand for? Don't let them gaslight you. The Biden administration is turning into that and trying to strong arm any of their political opponents, including someone as innocent and, to be honest, liberal as Joe Rogan. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. God bless the world. Share this video if you like it. And if you want to support further, check this out right here, patreon.com/raretalk. You see it? I'll move my finger with it. Patreon.com/raretalk. There's 4 tiers to subscribe. You'll get a bonus podcast every month. And that's just a way to help me out because I don't take corporate sponsors right now. I'm trying to do this 100% independently so no one can control me and I don't have to sell any garbage products. Speaking of products that are not garbage, that's why I sell them. God Bless hats available at godblesshats.com. The ones that I wear, pink ones. There's Green Dream Rare hats out right now. Made in the United States, only the best. Limited edition on a lot of them because I can't get them in because I actually buy good stuff. So check that stuff out. God bless you. Have a beautiful week and thank you so much for your time.